guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Archituber. I am architect Vaibhavi and I make content related to architecture and interiors. If you are new here, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel below. So in today's video, we are going to be discussing about the revision, in which we are going to be discussing about only part A, which is drawing. So without wasting more time, let us start with the video. So first we are going to be discussing about 2D compositions. If you have watched my previous video, we have discussed all of the 2D composition and 3D compositions in detail. If you haven't, I will link the videos here on the screen. Go check it out. Now, if you can see on the screen, there are basic shapes, different types of lines. So basically, whenever you are making any 2D composition, you have to practice for like basic shapes and the lines, different types of lines. Try making a composition using these type of elements or shapes, okay, so that your 2D composition will look balanced. Then discussing about the 4 types of spatial relationships, which are space within a space, adjacent spaces, spaces linked by a common space, and interlocking spaces. These will give your 2D composition a finished look, okay. So make sure you are adding these elements, like you are interlocking two objects, okay, or you are creating space within a space sort of composition. Then discussing about hatching. If you don't know anything about hatching, just go for basic or cross hatch or just simple blending, okay. Whenever you use hatch, it will give your drawing or composition certain depth, so it will look very aesthetically and visually appealing. So try adding hatches, and if you are confused what hatch to add, you can always go for textures. So there are different types of textures. You can go for material specified textures, and if you even don't want to give such textures, then you can go for geometric shapes like you can see on the screen. So these are very commonly used, like circle in circle, triangle in triangle, then honeycomb pattern, the jali pattern, cross lines, the dotted lines. Whatever you want, you can make any element into a pattern and you can repeat the pattern for your texture, okay. So whenever you are making your 2D composition, make sure you are using basic shapes, different types of lines, then you are adding the hatches, textures to make your 2D composition look aesthetically appealing, okay. Then discussing about this particular rule. So these are some of the rules for making any composition look finished, okay. So initially you can go for focal mass, V arrangement, radial, pyramidal, circular pattern of arrangements, okay. And then discussing about light and shadow, we have earlier discussed about light and shadow in detail. If you want to check out that video, you can check out the video. But to give you a gist, so it is same as blending, just the one thing is different, that there's a source of light coming onto an object, and you have to remember the thing, wherever the sun is hitting the object, that part will be highlighted and the rest of the object will be covered in a shadow or dark color, and it will cast some sort of shadow like you can see on the screen. So you have to keep this in mind, and you have to make sure that you add some sort of depth. Don't go for detailed shadow thing, but just try to add basic shadow as shown in the picture. Then discussing about 3D compositions. So there are different types of 3D compositions, and we have discussed about these perspectives. There are 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, multi-point and curvilinear perspectives, okay. So whenever you get questions asked on the memory scene questions or memory drawing questions, you can always go for 1 point perspectives or 2 point perspectives. It actually depends. If you are asked to make a question related to the street view, marketplace, then you can obviously go for 1 point perspectives. These are very easy ones. Then 2 point perspectives are very easy. Whenever you get asked questions like you have to show exterior of the house or the street view at some point, so then you can give 2 point perspective. Then discussing about the 3 point perspective. So basically this year in 2024, you can see so many questions related to 3 point perspectives. So the questions were like, imagine a lizard is watching you from the ceiling and you are sitting on study table. Then how the lizard can see you in 3 point perspective. So you have to make such kind of perspective, okay. And basically 3 point perspective can be seen from the bird side or the worm's eye as well. So for worm's eye, it will look somewhat like this, and when you see from the plane or if any bird is looking at you, it will look always like this. So you have to remember this. Multi-point perspective and curvilinear perspectives are not that important to you as of now, because 1 point, 2 point and 3 point perspectives are much more required for you as of now for NATA. So prepare for that. Then if you can see in the pictures as well, they have just given the basic hatching, textures. They haven't done much to the drawing, but yet the drawing looks complete and finished, right? So you have to make it a point that you will also make the drawing like this only. And if you want to solve such questions, you can search for the mock test on my channel. I have some similar questions related to 2D and 3D that we discussed now. Then discussing about 3D composition and 3D forms, we have discussed all of the forms in the previous videos. We have discussed how you can make such trees in step-by-step method, or any human figure, building, or any object for that matter. Okay, so make sure you are using that technique only. And if you have seen the 1 point, 2 point and 3 point perspectives drawing, they have used somewhat like these trees, like the human figures like these. They did not add much detail to it, okay, but yet it was looking finished. Then we have principle of designs, and these are very much important for you all. So make sure whenever you are making any composition, whether it be a 2D, 3D, you have to add principle of design. We have discussed this in theory of design, so you can watch the video. I will link here on the screen. So we have balance, rhythm, emphasis, hierarchy, contrast, repetition, etc. So try to use all of these or one at least in your composition, okay? And so many of you have asked me how to use this in 3D composition. So let me tell you about it. This is yet another new question added to this year's pattern. So you have been given a kit wherein they give you a card sheet like this, okay? And they give you 3D forms. It can be anything. They are pyramidal here, but they can give you anything, and they give you glue. And these are some of the frequently asked questions, like arrange the block to create a movement. So now if you see, these are falling down or they are moving forward, so it is giving a sense of movement. Again, if you see this picture here, the forms are falling down and falling apart, so it is also giving you a sense of movement, right? So the first question will be satisfied here. So you can arrange something like that. If you get asked to create a unity, you can go for such composition, okay? Or if they ask you to make contrast, then what you can do is you can go for a single color. Like here they have used blue and yellow. You can go for either blue or yellow, and you can just highlight 2 or 3 objects to make the composition look contrast, okay? Then we have here rhythm. It is somewhat going like this, then again it is following this, right? It is creating a rhythm. You can see the repetition, like 2 standing matchboxes, then horizontal, again standing, and then horizontal. Here we have emphasis, okay? Here we have repetition, like here is one circle, then it is again getting repeated over here, again it is going repeated over here, and it is a kind of unity as well, right? Then we have logo design. We have altogether a different PPT for logo design. You can go check it out as well. So now we know how to make a logo. There are 2 types of logo, descriptive logo and symbolic logo. It is on the brand and it is on you how you want to represent your brand, whether if you want to go for descriptive or a symbolic logo, okay? So these are some of the tips. Read the questions 2 or 3 times. Try emphasizing the question. Understand the brief. Make basic concept. Do not forget to keep it simple and minimalistic. This is one of the important things, okay? Then avoid using too many colors. This is for your 2D, 3D, whether it be any composition, just try to add 2 or 3 muted colors, okay? Then do not add complex detailing. Then here we have again the process for it. We have discussed this as well, like you have to first research the topic, you have to brainstorm, then you have to decide the font if you have to go for descriptive. Okay, then you have to discuss about the form, concept and the colors, then come to the conclusion and finalize the design. Okay, and this was one of the example. Now coming to the color theory, we have discussed about the hue, tint, tone, shades. Okay, and we have discussed about primary, secondary and tertiary colors. So for now you can add your primary, secondary schemes or tertiary schemes for your NATA compositions. Just don't try to go overboard. Like you can use 3 of them together, you can use three of them together, or you can use tertiary together. Then we have warm, cool colors, etc. So you can go for that as well. Then we have different kinds of emotions related to the color schemes. So give the colors accordingly, because whenever you get questions, there are some of the hints given in the question that you have to use particular color scheme. Okay, so try accordingly and give the colors accordingly. So for example, in one of the videos we discussed this one question: create a bedsheet design for energetic teenager with the help of magenta, teal and orange colors. So basically we have to use the vibrant colors here according to the mood of the room. So that's when the color psychology plays important role for you all. So please understand this and remember the color psychologies as well. I hope this video helps you. And yes, with that we have discussed about the part A of revision. Please stay tuned for part 2. Maybe there will be 1 or 2 parts of revision of part B. We'll see that in the coming video. Okay. And if you like this video, you know the drill. Please like, comment, share and do not forget to subscribe, share with the NATA aspirants or architecture students. Okay, I will see you in my next video. Till then, please take care and subscribe to my channel below. Thanks for watching.